The stock markets are tumbling under the weight of Trump tariffs. In this video, we will explore how long these downturns might last. Stay until the end of the video. I will also reveal some practical trading and investment strategies designed to capitalize Trump's strategy. Let's dive in.
In my opinion, the move from Trump is completely a bluff. Is something that will change very soon because actually it's impossible to move all the productivity in the United States. Okay, if we take, for example, the best product of the United States, which is the iPhone, and we go and we search how much does it cost an hour of a worker who assemble the iPhone. Here we can find the data. It's $10 per hour because the iPhone it's assembled by Foxconn, which is a Taiwanese company. It's assembled in China, and Foxconn pay $10 the workers, $10 per hour. Okay, so it's funny how it's funny we can see which we have a Taiwanese company which relocated the assemblation of iPhone in China, because of course the cost of labor in China is less expensive than in Taiwan. So here we are talking about the same problem we have all across the globe. In the last 50 years, every company all across the globe send the assemblation of something abroad because it was much cheaper. Okay, when we hear Mr. Trump today saying all the other states steal our job from the United States, it's not true, because United States just send the production of everything abroad because it was a lot of cheaper. Okay, that's it. This Taiwanese company Foxconn, who is assembling the iPhone, pay $10 per hour the workers. Okay, how much does it cost an hour of labor in the US? And here we start to see the problems with this politics, because look, in the United States at the moment, an hour of a worker, of an employee, you have to pay on average $44, which is more than 10 times, okay, what we pay now in China by a Taiwanese company who is making iPhone for the Americans. Okay, is it funny? But I mean, this is actually a big problem because it's really impossible to send back all the production, and we are not talking only about the iPhone, but we are talking of all the other products. For example, we are talking about Nike shoes. Okay, we are talking about something like that. So if you stop a little bit and you try to think and you try to use data, as we always do, in order to make decisions for our investments, this tariff doesn't make sense at all. Okay, because it's impossible to pay $44 for assembly the iPhone or everything else in the United States. Anil is saying something very interesting and important in the chat. If iPhones were assembled in the US, it would cost $9,000. And it's true, guys. Okay, and this is not only for the iPhone, it works for everything, Nike shoes and everything else, literally everything. If I didn't convince you, I would like to show you some other data that will definitely prove that Trump is doing a bluff. Okay, is not telling the truth, as always, like every politician all across the globe. He's trying only this chaos he created. It's something, in my opinion, he created in order to go directly to every state and make deals, directly deals with every country in order to get better condition. But let me show you this data. Look, if we go to Trading Economics, which is a website I already show you in past webinars, and we go here to the United States, and we go here to the unemployment rate. As you can see, at the moment, we have a very healthy 4.2% in unemployment rate. It means something really easy. Every 100 person in the United States, 4 person doesn't have a job, okay? Which is something really healthy for the economy. This is a very nice data because 4.2% for a big economy like the United States, it's a very healthy data. It also means that if all the production that today is made outside the US will come back to the US, actually, inside the United States, you cannot find enough worker to work in the factories. Sorry, I forgot how to say factories, which is something. Factories, yes, Andrew. Thank you very much, Andrew. In factories, okay? You do not have enough people to cover all this labor that at the moment is done outside for a much less cost, okay? Because remember, at the moment, Foxconn pay $10 per hour a person who is assembling the iPhone, and on average, you have to pay $44 per hour a worker in the United States, okay? So it's impossible. This kind of job, okay, very low level job, let's say, are made by poor people, let's say. And if you're not convinced, again, about Trump is doing a bluff, you can also see the immigration policy in the United States. If you would like to let the production come back to the United States, you have to allow people from Mexico and from other poorer states to come in the United States, not to leave. At the moment, Trump would like say that he would like to deport a lot of people from the United States back to their country, like Mexico and other poor states. Okay, so actually, guys, this is a bluff. We can definitely say it's a bluff, and probably in the next weeks or month, the Trump administration with all his guys will go directly to every state and will do deals with every state. You have to remember that Mr. Trump, he loved to be remembered as a deal guy. He also published a book. The name is Trump, The Art of the Deal. Okay. And this guy has a really big ego. Okay. He has a really big ego, and he would like him to be remembered as the best deal maker history have seen. Okay. So this strategy to create chaos could last a little bit more, but I really think this is a moment where we have to search for the opportunities in order to make money in the next month. Okay. So something that the Trump administration is looking for is to have a weakest dollar. Okay, I show you something which is very interesting, because you have to know, everybody all across the globe are asking themselves, but is Trump crazy or not? And everybody are asking themselves if Trump is deciding everything alone, or someone is doing the dirt job for him. Okay, and I found something really interesting, because you have to know that this guy, Mr. Trump, has someone very clever who is working for him. And we are talking about a guy, his name is Steven Miran. At the moment, this guy, you can find the page on Wikipedia. Here he is. He's an American economist and current chair of the Council of Economic Advisors since March 2025. This guy is the head of economic advisors for Trump. And in the November 2024, he published a paper which is a study on how to restructuring the global trading system. And in this paper, you can definitely find everything is happening right now with the tariff, okay? Because the problem with the actual situation for the economy, okay, is the dollar. Look, in this paper, you can see what this guy is thinking about the dollar, and he says the dollar is persistently overvalued, in large part because dollar asset function as the world reserve currency. This overvaluation has weighted heavily on the American manufacturing sector, while benefiting financialized sector of the country. Okay? So the goal for this administration will be to lower the value of the dollar. Okay? Because if they would like, as we saw in a previous video, to lower the deficit of the account of the let's go here to the all the indicators, and we go to the United States. If they would like to lower the deficit of the balance trade, as you can see here, the balance trade is negative, is in deficit. It means the United States spend more abroad than the money they receive from abroad. Okay? If they would like to lowering this deficit, they really need to have a stronger a, a stronger currencies all across the globe compared to the dollar. Okay, and this is the first trade idea for today, because if we go to the euro USD, we can definitely see something really interesting, because if you go back in time, you can see that since the last 20 years, the dollar gained compared to the euro. Okay, the US dollar, thanks to the fact is a reserve currency used by all across the globe, gained value compared to all other currencies. Okay, so this is something that the Trump administration would like to change. And if we go, for example, to the COT report, we can definitely see that something is changing, because look, even the leveraged fund are betting heavily long on the euro USD. Look, the net position moved from short to long. And even if we go to our overbought and oversold page, we can find a very interesting situation here, because as you can see, we reached a very important top here, but as you can see in the past, it takes time since the prices touch an extreme point. It takes time in order to have a reversal. Okay, look, for example, here we were at the end of the October. Okay, we started to have divergences between prices and our market mood meter, and then we reached at the beginning of 2025 the zero level, which is the moment where the indicators say, okay, now we can have a turning point, we can have a change in the trend, we can go and we can go from a downward movement to an upward movement, and then here we have the change in the trend. So now something similar, but of course opposite, it's happening. And I really think that how it happened in the past, we can go back to this chart and we can see much better. Look, if we go back here where we had the same situation, we found here a high in price, and then the trend went up again for different band. Okay, so here we had a situation with this part of the bull trend, and then we had exactly another leg, let's say, that went up. Okay, in this moment I think we have here the same situation, because here we have the prices went up, our indicator went in an overbought situation, and now I really think the Euro USD will go higher and higher, and we will have the second leg of this upward movement. Okay, if we go back in time and we go and we see the chart, we can definitely say that Euro USD can definitely go back to 1.17, 1.16, 17, which is this level. Okay, I really think this is a very nice trade, even because if we go to see the seasonality, we see something very interesting. We see that in the past 7, 5, and 3 years, starting from now, we have a downward movement for the Euro USD, historically speaking. Okay, but at the moment, the correlation between the actual price, the current prices of the Euro USD, and these historical seasonalities is very low. Look, we have 90%, 11, 17. It means actually the actual price is doing exactly the opposite. Okay, if we plot the actual prices, we can definitely see that the current year is doing exactly the opposite. And this is why I really think that starting from today until the end of September, beginning of October, Euro USD can continue to grow. Okay? And if you go here in this paper, you really understand that one of the goals for this administration is to lowering the value of the dollar in order to let the exportation benefit from a more convenient currency. Okay? Yes, of course. It could be also a good idea to go short on the dollar index, of course. Yes. Okay. The other trade idea for today, it's very interesting because with this volatility, there's a specific type of company that gain lot of money. And one company that even if this tariff will stay in place, it's a company that will be not affected at all by the tariff and will gain a lot of money thanks to this volatility. And we are talking about interactive broker. Interactive broker is one of the best and biggest brokers you can find all across the globe. As you can see, recently, the company went from $235 to $151 at the moment, losing more or less 20%. And this is something really interesting, because if we look this company in the long run, we have our trick, our tool, which is the net income on the chart, that is starting to tell us that we have a huge opportunity between prices and the net income line. Look, very interesting. If we also go to the fundamental page, here you can see how both the sales and net income are increasing. Very, 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 very slow, but constant. Okay. Look, this is a very resilient company which is growing since ever. Okay. At the moment, as you can see, the forecaster terminal tell us that the company is a little bit overvalued, but only because the first method, the discounted cash flow, is turned off, because the valuation we can obtain by the discounted cash flow, it's too high, and so automatically the forecaster terminal switch it off. But if we switch off, we switch it on, of course we can find a very, very undervalued company. And I think this is a much fair valuation for this company. Okay. If we go here in the row section of the balance sheet and the income statement, as you can see, we can find a really solid growth. Look, the growth here is very solid, both on revenue and net income. Look, this is a very nice growth. And this is a company that definitely benefit from the volatility, because thanks to volatility, clients trade more. And this company, of course, it's a broker and gain lot of money, lot of commission when we have market volatility. And if we go to the transcription page, we are still on the fundamental page, and we are in the transcription area where the forecaster give us all the earnings transcription from the management, and we ask the artificial intelligence to analyze it. We can find something really interesting, because we have plenty of positive news. I don't want to stay here to read everything, but what is really interesting, in my opinion, okay, is that they expect steady account growth. This is a company that the management is expecting to see growing in the future. Okay, this is a very nice company which is stumbling at the moment in the stock market, but as you can see, thanks to the market mood meter, we are already in an oversold situation. We are in a panic mode, where of course we can find the best opportunities on the market. Okay, so if you, as me, are looking at the moment to invest money for the long run, I think Interactive Broker right now is one of the best option we have. Okay, what do you think about this idea? Anil, very simple. The forecaster switched of the discounted cash flow, because as you can see, is too high. When the results of the calculation is above more than 200% the price we have on the market, the forecaster switch it off, and you have to decide if to use it or not. Okay, because remember, the forecaster is just giving you data. You have to use the data. You have to use the data in order to decide if invest in something or not. Okay, very simple, very, very simple. But what's in sport, what it's really fascinating me about this company is the expectation of the management for the company. They are really optimistic even in a phase like this. And look, the next earnings will be in less than 10 days, and we can definitely click on this button. So we will find in our calendar the message, and we will not forget to watch interactive broker results. Okay, do you like this idea? I really think it's really nice. Also, our indicator is telling us that we are in a very nice situation. We just went through one of the best, we just went through a very oversold situation. We are creating a very nice divergence between prices and indicator. So, I mean, if you're looking for long-term opportunity, definitely we are in the right moment. Okay. So, guys, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. See you next week. And remember that in the long run, the stock market will grow a lot. So don't worry about Trump. Probably is doing a bluff. And I really think that we will see an upward movement even faster than the crash we saw in the last days. Okay? Pierre, can you explain how it works? What are you talking about, Pierre? Can you be more specific, please? Remember, guys, that if you need something from our side, if you need assistance, you can just open the chat here and you can talk with our assistants, okay? They are really nice, they are really good, and you can ask everything, okay? Pierre is asking me something about the advanced DPO. Very simple. You can go to our YouTube channel and you can find all the description of everything. Let's go, for example, here to the overbought and oversold page. If you are looking for clarification or information, you can find the info box near every indicator, because the aim of the forecaster terminal is not to be a black box. We really share with you all the information you need in order to trust what you are looking for. Okay. Karen, interactive broker, should we wait for the next earnings or should we invest now? I already invested in interactive broker because what I'm looking for, sorry, this is interactive strength, interactive brokers. What I'm looking for is the surprise effect, let's say, because I really think here inside these in these earnings, we really find very nice results thanks to these days volatility. Okay, and this is a broker for professional people, and I really think I know the brokerage business, and I know a lot of brokers that are doing a lot of money in these days. Okay, and even interactive broken is for sure doing a lot of money thanks to this volatility. Okay, and that's it. I really think it's a good opportunity to get inside Interactive Broker before the earnings released, okay? Because we can have a surprise effect, okay? Guys, thank you very much. See you next week. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening.